Hey, what's up everyone? Today is June 25th, Thursday, June 25th, and today is another episode of Tax Talk with Travis. Today I'm going to go over the potential tax deadline getting pushed back again, potential more stimulus checks, and also go over a couple new things with the PPP. So let's start with the tax deadline. As we all know, the tax deadline was pushed back from April 15th to July 15th. Now what that did was, instead of tax season being a 2-month sprint, it's now been a 5-month sprint. And so selfishly, I am really hoping that they do not push the tax deadline back again. Now what there's been discussions about is possibly pushing the tax deadline to September 15th, which would give everyone another 2 months. As of right now though, the tax deadline is still July 15th. You can file an extension and push your filing deadline back to October 15th, but your payments do need to be made as of July 15th. That means that if you think you're gonna owe taxes but aren't sure what you're gonna owe yet, I recommend sending in a payment by July 15th and make sure you cover what you're gonna owe and possibly a little bit of extra. All right, let's move on to stimulus checks. So the second round of stimulus checks have been heavily discussed for the last month and a half or 2 months since the first ones went out. Whether we're going to get another one or not, I can't really confirm or deny. President Trump seems to still be open to it. There's Congress people and senators in the GOP that are not so sure about it. They're very worried about the cost of another round of stimulus checks. What I think may end up happening is there may be another round of stimulus checks that are either for a lesser dollar value or may just go to less people. So previously, if you were single and made $75,000 or married and made $150,000, that was when the stimulus checks started phasing out. I think they may drop those amounts so that people in lower income thresholds may still get the next round of stimulus checks, but everyone else may be left out. We'll see, but that's just kind of what I'm seeing being discussed. The next round of stimulus is going to be focused on jobs, according to the Treasury Mnuchin. What this may be is there's been discussion of a going back to work credit, possibly $450 that people that go back to work and are no longer collecting unemployment would collect. So once again, we'll see, nothing's official there. And then the end of July continues to be the aim for when they're going to pass the next round of stimulus. That coincides with the end of July and July 31st being when the PUA, which is the extra $600 a week that the federal government is giving people for unemployment, that's when that expires. And so the government really needs to pass the next stimulus round by the end of July. What they're doing right now is they're buying themselves some extra time, seeing how everything COVID related goes in the next couple weeks. We're seeing spikes in California, Arizona, Texas, Florida, among other states that are seeing the highest case counts that we've seen so far. And so I think they may be concerned that if cases keep going up, hopefully they don't have to close businesses again, but that seems to be the direction that we may be trending in. I know California is kind of halting moving areas to the next state of opening, so is Texas. So we will see how that plays out. But if businesses are forced to close again, I think they're going to have to do another round of stimulus, and that may include another round of PPP. So the PPP, there was a lot of questions on when businesses could apply for forgiveness. So if you changed your period from 8 weeks to 24 weeks, businesses were concerned that you had to wait until the end of the 24 weeks to apply for forgiveness. That is not the case. So if you decided to go with the 24 weeks to give you extra flexibility in spending the money, you don't have to wait until the end of the spending period to apply for forgiveness. If you spend all of the funds after 12 weeks, after 16 weeks, you can apply for forgiveness at that point. However, many banks are not accepting applications for forgiveness yet. What they're doing is they're trying to streamline the process, and so they're setting up online applications. I have spoken to a couple smaller community banks here around where I live that are just going to process the paper applications. So if that's the case, you can just download the application off the SBA website and start gathering all of your documentation. But most bigger banks and larger regional banks are going to have an online application. It should look very similar to what the SBA's application did, but currently a lot of the larger banks are not accepting forgiveness applications because they're still working on streamlining this process. All right, well, hope you enjoyed this video. If you got value out of it, please consider liking and subscribing. You can like the videos, little thumbs up right there. If you hit the bell, that'll give you a notification every time I post a video. And then if you subscribe to the channel, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great day.